Hey, what's up, guys? This is Between Nerds. I'm Lloyd.
I'm Drew.
And I'm Aldo.
And today we're back with another episode. So what's the deal, guys? How are we doing today?
I'm excellent. How are you, Lloyd?
I am doing pretty good.
Aldo?
Yeah.
I'm doing great. Thank you, guys.
Okay, now that we got that awkwardness out of the way, can we talk about last week and future installments, what we are looking for this?
Oh, well, yeah, we kind of pretty much decided that we're going to be focusing on a couple of topics. Since we are trying to focus on, talking about more animes, we're definitely going to save some time for that each podcast. Subjectively, each week we might talk about something different. This week in particular, I would like to talk about, we're supposed to talk about mental health. Right. I also kind of want to talk about Bakemonogatari. You had us watch it this whole week. Absolutely. And we were able to get through it. So let me get this straight. Yeah, what is it?
We want, like, we're going to pick a certain nerd topic. We're going to go through the entire week.
Yeah. We're
going to have an overarching social issue. Maybe not. This week we got mental health. So we'll spend the beginning of the episode going over the given nerd topic. And then we'll tie everything else in at the end. We'll talk about anything else. We'll talk about current events.
Other nerd topics.
We'll tie it all up to next week. But like Lloyd was saying, this week we watched Bakemonogatari, which is one of my three favorite anime. In no particular order, my favorite three animes since like my senior year of high school have been Bakemonogatari, Madoka Magica, and The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. So, Aldo and Lloyd got together earlier this week while talking about the podcast, and we all agreed to reintroduce ourselves to Bakemonogatari. Well, I reintroduced myself. You guys, this was both your first times, right?
Yes,
yeah.
I never watched it.
And you know what? I actually had started it like a long time ago when you had mentioned it initially. That was your favorite.
I don't shut up about it.
I started watching it, and the first like episodes, they're so visually stimulating.
It's almost annoying.
Yeah, exactly.
It's almost annoying, you said?
It's almost annoying.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think
right away you just loved it.
Not right away. Like, as for someone that didn't know what the hell was he gonna get into with this anime, when I jump into animes, I usually have, what the main idea of the anime is, but this doesn't really follow anything. It does
describe the main plot of the anime for us.
Just a connection. Honestly, it's just about a guy having these different connections with people that are going through a lot of different problems. Maybe some more fiction than others. But for example, Senjuhara, like she was kind of being overburdened by like the feelings over her mother and stuff like that.
Yeah,
early in the
and they manifest as apparitions, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's start broad a little bit. So Bakemonogatari, at its phase, is a monster of the week anime. The guy is essentially a half vampire exorcist, right? Mm-hmm. And the main theme is...
And where did we get all that? That's
they're based on light novels. It's based off the manga.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's just you got dropped.
You get dropped after like the first half chapter of like the manga.
Oh, okay.
So after they set that up. So, and then let's go smaller. It eventually turns into a slice of life-ish because it's mainly about him just walking to high school half the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then it shares aspects of a harem anime. Because that's the people that he's exercising end up being exclusively women that like he could see himself dating or have a crush on.
Yep.
Correct? So then you were mentioning episode 1, which is about Senjo Gahara.
Yeah.
And then what happens with her?
Well, yeah, like I said, she is possessed by the crab god or something, right?
Yeah.
And then somehow she doesn't weigh anything. I didn't.
Yeah,
really
so it's a very interesting way they start off like right off the bat. The first like episode,
it drops you right in the middle.
Yeah, it drops you right in the middle because so at the beginning of like that episode, there's a bunch of different prompts that are just switching, trying to say something. I never got the chance to like really read them, and I get like it gives me anxiety that I can't read it. So right after that. It cuts into the scene where they're in the massive hallway going upstairs into, it looks like heaven or some shit.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And that's, so what you were talking about, every Bakemonogatari like scene switch has like a blank screen with like a simple amount of text on it.
Yes.
My understanding is that's easier to read if you're a Japanese native because you can read that kanji like real quick. Mm-hmm. Us, we're like, what's that itty bitty text say at the very bottom of the screen? But like what Lloyd was saying, it's jarring at first because it's like.
Yes, absolutely.
It's like purposely not smooth scene transitions.
And it could be, for example, an awkward situation, and it'll cut back, like you said, to a panel of some writing, and it'll just be awkward or something like that, and it'll just change it up. Or also, like,
he says something dumb, she's mad.
Yeah. Exactly. But it's so, as far as for me, as like having to read subtitles, when I look at that certain panel of whatever happened before, I see it's like, oh, awkward, or she's mad, and then I kind of understand more of what I read from whatever happened in the episode. Because there's a lot of dialogue.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dialogue, and there's just like this, and that, and I feel like this, and this is going on with the apparitions and stuff like.
And I like that's what you brought up about it being so dialogue heavy, because like you could market this anime to somebody that only likes shonen because it's super gory. The fights are super dragged out for some reason. It's only like, 12, 13 episodes?
Yeah, it's 12.
Right?
12, yeah.
So then, half the episodes have a really big gory fight scene, but like every other episode is just 20 minutes of just barraging you with just dialogue.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There's some intense scenes, like that one scene that right now we're watching the anime on the background. But right now we came across what you said. Oh, this is my favorite scene when they're studying, and what's his name? Araragi. He mentions the monkey paw girl. She mentions that monkey paw girl. And she's like, "Why are you talking about her so intimately?" And this girl gets mad.
Yeah.
So dude. It's Senjo Gahara, who's like been my waifu since 2009. So both you nerds back up.
She is so dope, man.
It's because Senjo Gahara is my favorite. Like anime waifu because she's the only tsundere that you see the other side of. So every tsundere you see in anime, like the mean girl crush, but she
what is tsundere?
Okay, a tsundere is the anime girl archetype where she obviously likes the other guy or the main character usually, but like she's real mean at first. But then there's always that cutaway scene where she's like,
shits on him the entire first 2 episodes.
But you know what? She's not trying to be. She's very blunt.
Yeah,
she's not trying to be. She's very honest in what she says, and it's not like she realizes that she's being an asshole.
Yeah,
you know.
Like, well, you should be smarter than that.
Yeah, exactly.
Which makes her like the best written tsundere ever.
And from like the first episode all the way up to like the snail episode at the last episode, where she lets him know that she pretty much loves him so much that she doesn't want him to like
die.
Yeah, die, and then realize that that he was doing something stupid when he was initially talking about the snail girl, and he's like, "Well, I didn't want to tell you and like start like a problem or something like that."
Because that's how that episode starts. It's them talking.
It's just it's so wholesome to see like her as she's
just there.
Dude. She's
because that's what I'm saying about seeing the other side. Like she comes off like a real hard ass, but she really likes her mans, and like she threatens to cut off the heads of like gods by the end of the season. She became infatuated after
he clearly was there to just help her out, and
he was selfless.
Yeah, he was definitely selfless, and he helped her out throughout the whole way, even though she was just being
Yeah. So the first 2 episodes are exclusively about Senju Gahara, and basically her arc ends where it's found out that they basically perform an exorcism. She's being possessed by a crab god.
But then she wants it back, right? She wants
the memories back. So she made a deal with the crab god because she had some childhood trauma with her family, and she made a deal with the crab god,
being
like
of mental health.
She was basically like, take this away from me. And that was her metaphorical weight. That was the weight that was bringing her down, that was holding her onto the ground. So that's why the crab god took her physical weight.
Yeah, it's kind of like...
And there's that metaphor...
switched up because how would I say? It's...
like, she didn't care how...
It's over cumbersome, but it's completely
like necessary.
Opposite. Yeah.
Like, right? So that's the metaphor with what Aldo was saying about mental health is that like you need your shit to like weigh you down. You know what I mean? Like your shit grounds you, and she didn't understand that, and the crab took advantage of that.
Yeah, because I mean, as hard as a fucking situation it's gonna get, you're gonna learn something from it. You know, in this case, it's like watch out with the cult that your mom's currently in.
Okay. Second female introduced is the snail.
Absolutely, it was really cool, very cool intro. I love that they changed intros all of the sections.
Yeah, that's very dope.
The biggest turnoff most people have to Bakemonogatari is they've heard about it's a little indecent sometimes, especially when it comes to the snail girl because she is an underage like character.
Absolutely, yeah.
But so go on. What did you think?
Well, I really liked it. Like I said, the entire thing, the entire 12 episodes, it's a combination of panel changing, a lot of dialogue, and a very cool soundtracks. And this one in particular,
what's it sound like?
I don't know, man. Like the second one, I don't know what it brings me back to, but the intro of the second one is really cool.
They're all they're very poppy.
It just reminds me of Kirby or something like that. I don't know.
It sounds like such a happy slice of life anime. Yeah. Like it just sounds like some dude in this harem with these.
And
girls.
honestly, if you see some of the scenes, that's how it feels. But then you start getting like the very like the visuals just start switching up. I mean the scene, it'll go from like them talking, switching back and forth, and then it'll zoom into his eyes, and then you get to see that expression in him, and it's this is a very well animated anime. Like it's
and as someone that is newly introduced to this anime, it just it grasped me just with soundtrack and the panel changes, the image changes, that drawing, some of that shots. And you see this a lot like in comic books too, that the comic book movies don't really get to convey. It's some angles that you wouldn't have obviously in real life. Yeah. Like Batman being crouched down in a little area and he has like, you can see his
absolutely.
face. And you're not going to get those shots in real life unless, you're putting work on it. But like some of these shots where
the medium allows for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Where they're just talking far away, but it's still the same dialogue. It's same dialogue which is connected to the situation, but then you have visual changes all the time. It's very good. Mm-hmm. But so the snail girl.
Yeah. Back to you talking about Hachikuji.
I believe so. Yes.
Hachikuji. What did you think? How does her arc end? How is it resolved?
Well, the ending is my favorite part.
Before we talk about the ending, you got to talk about kind of how it goes up to the end because I thought that was like one of the most important parts about this half of Monogatari. It's crazy because he ends up seeing her and he has like he feels like he needs to help this girl. It's like, why do you need to help this little girl? It's like she's telling you that she doesn't need your help.
Yeah,
she literally tells him to fuck off. Yeah, exactly. She's like,
she's initially looking for an address at a train station, like at a train stop. And you see the map, so she's looking at the map. Mm-hmm. And then Aragagi approaches her. Is like, "Hey, can I help you find something?" He's like, "No, fuck off, get out of here."
Yeah, and then they start fighting.
There's like, this fool punches the little girl, man. It's cool.
And
I like their relations because they're always fucking each other.
It's funny. He takes that tag, tries to have what's her name, Sanjahadu. Sanjogahara. So it's crazy because at the beginning, you think that she sees the little girl. And I know that's so
the beginning of the scene, the beginning of the episode is Senju and Araragi, excuse me, talking in a playground, right? Yes. They're chopping it up, couple shit. Like they're not even really talking.
They're not really a couple, but I think she was just shitting on him as like, you fucking virgin. It's like you don't have the guts to do anything or something. Because
she's a tsundere. That's what I'm saying. She's like, oh, you little bitch boy, but like
he's like, oh yeah,
still loves the boy. Yeah, she's like, you're my bitch boy though. Like,
so he gets up and approaches this little girl, which is not there at all. And
spoilers.
So
she's a ghost?
So
yeah, she's
not a. I guess, is she a ghost?
She's a ghost.
Yeah, she's a ghost.
I mean, she's a ghost. She's dead.
Yeah, well, she is dead, but doesn't she turn into the apparition of the snail? Isn't she the?
She is the snail.
She is the snail, so she wouldn't be really a ghost.
But she is a ghost.
But then because
she's just like she's a wandering ghost.
But
in
it could
that
have been
sense.
any ghost. That was the snail, right? Not
the
just that,
Yeah.
Explain it.
So she is the snail because she's like the wandering ghost.
Because that's the metaphor. Like she's slow, she's not going nowhere. She's
she's stagnant.
But she's a ghost. So basically, Araragi is able to like solve her the
problem that she's having.
Problem she had that was like tying her to the existence. Ghost shit, right?
Yeah, ghost shit.
So then then she willingly chooses to stay like in that medium as a wandering spirit.
She's pretty much stuck in purgatory.
Yeah. So by the end of it, when her shit's resolved and she can leave, she chooses to just stay because she wants to fuck around with Araragi and like all his people.
Yeah, and you still get to see her like throughout the episodes after that too.
The joke is that like anytime he's walking to school, she might be there and he's just gonna fuck with her. And just like beat her up and stuff.
Because he's the only one that could see her, right?
Basically. Yeah. Okay, third girl, Monkey.
Monkey girl. Can't remember her name.
Suruga.
Yeah, it's this girl right here. We got her on the background.
So this one, honestly, I did not pay attention to that.
This one, okay,
I didn't really like this one.
What y'all were talking about is that he seems like selfless and like not like an asshole. In the first two arcs, this is where you start seeing like other aspects of him. So this girl,
by the way, I love how they use his hair as an innuendo for his penis.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Each time a girl's like, "Oh, you're cute." What? So Araragi is Suruga's senpai, and she has this huge crush on him, and like she's really good at sports, and she's basically doing a bunch of shit just to like get his attention. So, what happens with her?
Well, she got possessed by the monkey.
The monkey paw,
right? The monkey paw.
So the monkey paw is like an old like Japanese like legend item. Where actually, was it Japanese?
It's a piece of literature. It's
is it?
It's you also see references of them in episode of Rick and Morty when the devil has his
the monkey paw.
He's like, oh, that's the worst way to use a monkey paw. So the monkey paw works to you have five wishes, but they all go against the wisher's intent, so it's like I want to be rich. It's like rich with what?
Like how? Yeah. So it's a very literal.
Yeah. So that's exactly what's going on. So I think right here she wanted to be the best in the basketball team or some shit like that, and I think she ended up killing somebody. Over that position.
Instead of making her better, she just killed somebody.
What? How did this happen? Honestly, I think I was watching this when I was falling asleep and I didn't get like the whole gist of it.
Okay, so then so basically she has these wishes, they all turn bad, and the monkey paw like starts like possessing her arm.
Yeah, it possesses.
It starts possessing her arm, and she turns into like this monkey beast and keeps having like these violent like.
That's right, and that one of those outbursts, she killed that girl, right?
She almost killed Araragi.
Yeah,
it
was a vampire boy, so.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So we briefly mentioned the first 10 seconds, but Araragi is half vampire because they never fully explain it like at the beginning. But in episode 1, he's already was a full vampire, got turned back,
and some symptoms are still lagging, right?
Right, which ends up being like he's
healing factor.
He's immortal, sort of, and like he can't really die from blood loss and stuff like that. Yep. He'll heal eventually, no matter how much he gets fucked up. So the first time he meets the monkey beast, she's just in this big like yellow raincoat, and she just like starts like ripping out pieces of him.
Beating the shit out of him.
She's abusing the boy.
Yeah, a little bit. And then going back to the anime harem archetypes, of course there would be somebody that calls her fucking senpai.
Yeah, but I don't know. I still didn't find this one as entertaining.
You think she's the least interesting one?
Yeah, I believe. Well, no, that one and the cat. I didn't really like.
You didn't like that? Oh, it's because you haven't watched the other seasons. So like, okay. I'll hold that one internally.
Okay. We'll talk about another episode.
The cat girl gets like her own like spin-off.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah. So I didn't even mention this at the beginning, but Bakemonogatari has like 10 parts to the anime, and they're all named something different. Like, it goes from Bakemonogatari to Nino Monogatari to Neko Monogatari.
I was gonna watch the first episode this morning because I finished Bakemonogatari this morning.
Kind of did.
I was gonna watch the first episode of Nissan Monogatari.
It's about the sisters.
Nissan
Monogatari.
Yeah.
Neko Monogatari.
And then I was gonna watch it, but then I saw the cover and my girl was right there working. I'm like, no, I'm just gonna save this for later.
I would hold off on watching that one.
In front of my girlfriend?
It's because, so again, like, Bakemonogatari and the Monogatari series has a lot of, like, really weird, like, Japanese, like, flirt humor. And because that one's all about his sisters, it's basically this dude harassing his sisters for 12 episodes.
What?
It's not bad. Like, you know,
it's not bad, but he kind of
there's
like
there's one episode where like he grabs his younger sister's tit and he's like, "Oh, that's weird. This wasn't here before."
People that don't really know anime or like Japanese culture, like this is something you see in all the animes. Do we want it there? No. You know,
no one asked for this. The show's just good, and
we like the art, the music. We're talking about all this other stuff, but then people want to focus on this one thing that is part of like culture.
Come on, like I was talking about last week.
Hang in there. We don't watch this anime.
The pedo stuff. I don't understand that.
Japanese culture is so crazy, super crazy.
Right.
But yes, we watch weird anime.
What is it with young kids all the time, man?
And their siblings. That's even weirder.
Come on, man.
So then, Cat... Oh, no, Cat's last.
No, yeah, we had... No, yeah, Monkey. We're at Monkey.
We're at Monkey.
Yes.
So why did she get possessed? Because she was just very greedy?
The monkey or the cat?
The monkey.
No, I think she was very...
Because she made, like... It was just because that everyone knows how cat paws work. And they know, like, you're supposed to give something up to try to get something. And she was just so, like, just wanted to be good at everything. And wanted to be the best at everything.
Competitive, but yeah, in a way,
like gritty, obsessively, like
envious.
Yes.
Yeah. She was unhealthily like obsessive,
wanting to be good because she wanted to impress again. She want to impress
Araragi, yeah.
Mental health, like
these
kids are just going through it, man.
And
then you get a monkey paw. What are you gonna do? Start killing nipples.
And you know what's another thing that I noticed? That every episode, you don't really see like other people there.
Yeah,
like it's always just them.
It's a dead town.
Yeah, it's like a dead ass town.
It's whoever's he's interacting with, and that's it.
And that's it. The only time where I thought I saw someone is when they're like walking over the bridge, or they're in the car, and you just see all the cars are like the same car.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And dude, some of these shots are so crazy.
I think that's like a metaphor for like how your teenage years feel, because like Araragi's a senior in high school. He's supposed to be 17, 18 years old throughout this. And like I feel like when I was 17, 18, which may be why this resonated with me so much at 16, was just like nothing fucking matters, bro. Like every adult annoys me.
It's
like,
whatever is in your vicinity there.
Or,
like immediately interacting
or
with
just in your
that's all it
vicinity.
is.
Like, if you don't really care for that person walking by, it's like, is it necessary for me to acknowledge?
I'm not going to register their face. I'm not going to register them being there. Like all these cars look the same to me because I don't care. Like
that's
I'm telling you, man. It's things like this about this anime.
But you can see all this in the anime. Like you can see all this shit on the anime. You can see all these shots of different perspectives of something that shots want to trigger on you. And I told you before, I felt like I was looking into like a
different lighting that we have here
movie where it just wants to spark a different thought of whatever you were already watching. It's so intense.
I like that you were able to tie it to like a Western director.
It's crazy.
Because everyone knows who fucking Stanley Kubrick is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And like these shots, and I don't know, it was just I didn't know what the hell was going on half of the time that I was watching this.
And I think that's the point almost.
And for some reason, I mean, don't get me wrong, I just didn't know what the point was, and then I finished watching it. I'm like, man, it's just a kid going through it.
Yeah,
it's just
exactly. That's how I felt the whole time too, because you're literally watching. And you're not given enough context at the beginning of the anime to understand what really is going on in that world. Because ultimately you realize it's not even about the world or what happened to him previously, like how he became a vampire. It's these interactions that he's having with these people.
So opportunities to be kind, opportunities to help.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And no, I think that's completely right. And
you don't get it till you finish the anime, and you're just like, That's what it's about.
And like I said, me being newly introduced to this anime, like the visuals alone and soundtrack kept me going because I was like, I like listening because it gets me like, what?
To what Lloyd was talking about, I think that's why I like, because you learn after like episode 3, even if you don't understand what's happening, that you do like it because you're registering it on like this like deeper level. Like, oh, these visuals are coming off to me. The music just fits like weirdly perfectly. Like every city scene is just really bumpy and hoppy. And like you just get these emotional connections.
Yeah, it's very emotionally evoking sometimes. Like you're just
absolutely.
Like, that's where the slice of life, and you're just like, even us now, it's like, oh shit, like I feel you. Like I felt
they
that
have
moment.
awkward conversations too, huh? Like some guy all the way in Japan could write like an awkward teenage conversation. Exactly how it feels, you know what I mean?
Yeah, dude,
yeah, exactly, because he's had it before. Like, exactly how it feels to be 16, 17, and have, like, this weird-ass conversation.
Yeah, they're very straightforward.
You're talking to some girl you really like, and you're not entirely comfortable being there.
And then, you know what else? Araragi, we get to be in his head, too, and it's just, like, it makes it even...
dialogue,
like, when you start sweating sometimes.
Inner dialogue, man,
yes,
I think...
inner dialogue
I think a lot of movies now, like regular movies, comic book movies and stuff like that, they miss out a lot on it.
Absolutely.
Inner dialogue is so important to see what you're feeling, man. Like inner dialogue in Batman, it's very
Batman
intense.
And then say American Psycho.
American Psycho is super.
You don't understand like half the book.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, I've been reading it here and there, and it's just hard to read because you don't know when they're just describing something, when he's in his head, he's just describing something, or he's actually having an interaction. And it's just, you kind of have to imagine. It makes it easy for me that I've watched the movie, but reading it is a whole different experience.
You don't know where you're at.
Yeah, you don't know where you're at. And the way the book's written, like the way it switches between inner dialogue and, having dialogue with someone else or describing something of where they're at, like, it's hard to kind of, like, determine sometimes unless he says...
I'm at the club.
Yeah.
I'm at the lounge.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's how I kind of feel that this one is. And it goes really... Araragi just goes from his head and just thinking, like, damn, does she really love me right now? It's like, dude, like, is this love?
Like, that's that teenage insecurity that's so honest about the writing that, like, really resonated with me, I feel.
Yeah, exactly. And that's... one of the things that I loved, and that, like, with the visuals that we're given, like, it's just stimulating in a different level.
Expanding on the visuals, since we're uploading to an audio medium, I didn't realize this until years later when I rewatched it, was like how much CGI is used in the animation, which makes the visuals so jarring. Like how you're talking about all the breaks. Like, every dialogue scene has, like, 3 layers of fucking CGI between the 2-dimensional characters. And that's what adds to, like, depth. And, like, what you're talking about, the Kubrick movies, it makes you feel super, like...
Absolutely.
Like...
You know,
they're alone.
Like,
it's just
it's
like some
alone.
of the shots,
you're in a like you feel the depth of the scene. You know what I mean? Because you have like these CGI like.
Have you guys ever played Paper Mario?
Yes,
it feels like that, dude.
Yes, exactly. If you've ever played Paper Mario, but you don't understand what the fuck we're talking about, this anime.
Yep.
A lot of scenes look like Paper Mario, like that kind of depth.
I like the one that they use a lot. It's when they just do long shots of them, and you can just see 2 figures like next to each other, and you see dialogue. But you see it as a person who's like, oh, just 2 kids talking over there, or whatever.
Yeah, because that's exactly how it's supposed to feel too.
Yeah. And it's very, very. It looks amazing. It looks amazing.
Hold on, we're almost done with the arcs.
Yes.
Cat Girl, you hated it.
I didn't hate it. I just didn't really understood it, I guess.
What did you understand, Lloyd?
I think I slept through those too.
Okay, so the Cat Girl, again, is like the smartest girl in his class, but it's another girl that has this huge clutch.
We have Nadeko Snake.
Oh, we haven't even done Snake. That's right. We didn't do the Snake Girl.
My bad.
That's after Monkey. Oh,
I always think of her being last, and I don't know why. When I was going through this again and making notes, I always forget. Like, in my mind, Snake's always last. Because I always remember this one the most. Because I feel like this one's, like, the most, like, gruesome.
This one was weird. It was very weird.
So what's it about?
This girl is possessed. This little girl, right?
Yeah. So
this very little girl.
Araragi has 2 younger sisters.
Yes.
One's like 12. The other's like. One's like 11. One's 13 or something. They're both in middle school. They're like the terrors of their middle school.
And she's possessed by the snake god, right?
Right. The friend of the younger sister is possessed by a literal snake god. Which, like, I've seen this medium in a lot of anime. Is just like, so they have a lot of shrines. Mm-hmm. What's that religion? It's not Buddhism, but it's
shrines.
Yeah, like
that like spiritualism religion that they have in Japan.
Buddhism,
not Buddhism. Older than Buddhism.
I'm not sure.
Anyway,
I'll think about it right now.
So they have these really old, like, traditional shrines in Japan, right? Mm-hmm. And I've seen, like, snake gods associated with these shrines a lot. So this girl makes a deal with the snake god, right? Mm-hmm. And then what?
Yeah, well, she gets possessed and she curses something. Fuck, I can't remember. She's cursed with malintent or something,
right?
Like that?
Which is maliciousness, which is just like feeling mean and aggression.
But I can't remember what she traded that to. Like, I don't know.
Shintoism.
So it's a Shinto shrine and a Shinto god almost that she gives this to, and honestly, like, her main intention didn't really matter all that much because she just felt like bad and picked on, and like no one understood her. You know, like fucking.
And she had a crush on the brother, right? On
Araragi, the older brother of her friend, and he'd never paid attention to her. And then so what we haven't explained about Araragi's powers that much is because he's half vampire, he is also possessed by a vampire goddess who has half her powers reduced.
What?
How the little vampire girl, like, lives in his shadow. Yeah. And that's where he gets all his vampire powers.
Oh, yeah.
So that's part of the part they don't explain, like, in before whatever happened.
This is something you just gotta pick up.
Yeah. So the main guy that helps him exorcise all these demons and gods helped him get partially human by reducing the power of that vampire goddess that was, like, controlling him. And that's why, like, when she's represented, because she's still the source of his power, his vampire powers, she appears as a little girl because when she's, like, in her full power form, she's like a 6 foot tall woman.
And then he tries to help her, right, with a ritual, but it backfires on him.
So we're talking about the snake girl again. Yeah. And then she goes crazy, and she realizes that this
doesn't she almost get killed?
Yeah,
by the snake god.
She realizes that this little girl is living inside Aragi's shadow, and she gets, like, insanely jealous, and she doesn't know, like, even what it means to have a crush on the guy. So she goes super crazy and almost kills both the vampire and Araragi. And it's not until Senjo Gahara calls her, being like, "Hey, is my man there?" Yeah. That she's like, "Yeah, I'm about to murder him. What's up?" And that she's able to be like, "Well, I know you don't have to promise me anything, but now that you're a god, do you want to just, like, do me a favor if I pray to you and just not kill him for a year?" Yeah.
For a whole last year.
Which is a long time. And basically, like, it doesn't even... Man, that would, honestly, no, the more that I think about it, like, that's probably the least fulfilling arc.
The snake one?
Because what's the overarching theme there? Like, I'm that 11-year-old girls are weird and obsessive?
Yeah, kind of. Because, I mean, at the end, he tries to help her with a ritual, and then it just gets gory, and it's one of the goriest ones besides the monkey girl. Yeah, that's where you actually see... Because on the monkey girl, he just gets beaten up, and that's it. They don't really show anything crazy. On this one, he gets his bones cracked and shit.
Yep, arms ripped off.
Yeah, and, like, he almost gets killed by his girlfriend. Towards the end. And...
So I guess that's what it's about, just jealousness?
I don't know. I mean, it's because... I don't know. I guess I was thinking too hard about it.
What did you think about? What's this too deep thought?
I don't know. It's because,
you think there's more to it?
Like, at the beginning, I don't know, with Senjahara, she's actually, suffering with her bearing of these thoughts and these memories. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And this bitch is just, and like the other girl is just, the monkey girl is just envious of everybody. But she ends up, hanging out with him the entire next part. And then the snake girl is just like evil too. So it's just like, wait, is she gonna be better at the end of the episode? But she's not. Right?
No. Well, she learns to stop like being so obsessive and to let people do their own thing.
But didn't she?
So she just pretty much had the realization that she was just being obsessive.
A dick.
Okay, so her name.
I don't know. You explain. You know this anime better than us.
It's because I can't I can't register like the overarching theme on this one. Like it was so easy to get the metaphors on the rest of them.
But this one,
it's kind of just reduced to like just she's immature, kind of.
Well, I mean, she is younger, but how much younger? Like it doesn't. I don't think it really matters. Maybe she was just being obsessive.
Okay, hold on. Although Nadeko was calmed by the presence of her Koyomi Oni-chan, she soon discovers that there is another curse tormenting her, and is a second snake curse sent by a classmate which she had rejected before. So I guess what it's saying is that the initial snake tying itself to her is the rejection she felt from Araragi.
Oh, from Araragi alone?
And that second snake was from her classmate that felt rejected by her.
Mm-hmm.
So wait, that's what I was...
Part of the shrine. Because she was, like, basically giving offerings to the snake god by killing those white snakes in front of it.
Okay. But then the second snake, where was that?
From her classmate. One of her, little school classmates.
Oh.
So... I don't know what you're supposed to learn from that one as opposed to the others.
I don't know.
Anyway, so last one's the cat,
Cats.
which has like the best gore scene out of the whole anime. And then what happens?
What happens in that
one? Who's this cat? Where does she get like? Why is she possessed by some demon cat?
Dog. Honestly, now I'm starting to realize that I didn't pay attention to these.
I watched these last night.
Because literally the last one, I watched the last episode for sure, but all the other ones, I was just like,
the last episode.
I kind of like
he knew like the first 3 episodes, dude, and then everything in the middle he didn't know.
I was watching them while falling asleep, so they didn't really stick with me there.
So the cat ends up being his classmate.
Yeah.
The smartest girl in his school, and she has a crush on Araragi, and so Araragi's presumed to be an idiot because he's at some really good private school. No one knows how he's there. No one knows how he's funding it, but he's dropping out, and he's a senior, so his biggest concern is graduating sometime soon. So the smartest girl in school, because she has a crush on him, helps him with his schoolwork and like is really adamant about like being like, yo, you got this test, you got to do this homework, like because she cares about him deeply. So one time when these two were walking home from school after a study session, they crossed by the path of a black cat.
So this is what I didn't get. They did a flashback in the first part of the cat episode. Is this before Senjo Hara situation? Because this girl's always mentioned. What's her name?
What?
This girl right here. We're watching this. We're watching this in the background. Sorry. Araragi's friend.
Oh, the
one
older
girl. The older girl that
also
is
tutors
there all the time.
Tutors him, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Because she's not possessed by anything. She's just some girl that Araragi knows, right?
Yeah.
Right. She's the smartest girl in his school.
Mm-hmm. So this is before Senjo Hara's thing? Because I know they did a flashback thing at the beginning of this episode.
I don't believe
her name is
so.
Tsubasa.
Is this when they encounter the black cat?
I can't remember the very beginning. But, like, basically, all they're talking about right now is that they're laying out that, like, Hanekawa, that's her last name, is that it's basically kind of obvious that she has a crush on him.
Yeah,
that was my.
Because she cares about him. Yeah, it's like, hey, dude, you should be better. Hey.
Yeah, his Golden Week studying or whatever,
yeah.
And that's always been my understanding of this first episode. I don't even remember them laying out the cat stuff that much.
Oh, okay.
It's just presumed one day that like all these like the suspicious monsters around town. There's these violent happenings, and then the cat ends up possessing her. And she like really messes up Araragi, and it turns into another one of those like obsessive kind of like stories to learn, because that's that unhealthy kind of obsession where it's like she should have been honest with Araragi the whole time, with what she was doing, and Araragi's just dumb. Like he just wants to pass high school and go on to college, but he doesn't even have the forethought to question the bandage on her face. Like, how did you get that? What did you do? And the most disappointing part of this arc for me is that it doesn't get a real solution in the anime, because basically the vampire just comes out of his shadow, fixes the cat girl, and we don't learn like what happens to her until the 3rd season from now, when it's Bakemonogatari, which she gets her own.
Okay, maybe that's why it didn't really register on me, because nothing really happened on this one. Because after this one, it's just the last episode, right?
Okay, tell me about the last episode.
Well, the last episode is just them having their first date as a couple.
Senju Gahara and Araragi?
Absolutely, yes.
That one was really interesting because most of the episode is them in the car. And that's where Araragi and Senju Gahara.
No, I like how it starts when they're feeding each other.
Yeah,
when she's feeding him. Yeah, that was a cool. You know the whole thing is gonna be cute.
Yeah,
you know the entire episode's.
It gives you those feels like that like.
And he's so angry, and he's so angry that
like
the teenage
encounter with the
feels
girl.
Like
you know those teenage like
you're like, oh, it's kind of cringy. Because you don't know what to say.
It's all awkward and weird, and you don't even know how to interact with a girl.
She's trying to feed him. She's trying to feed him. He's like, what's she doing? What is this?
Yeah.
Blah, 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 the entire first time of the fucking episode.
Yeah, dude, but I mean, when they're in the car...
it's so funny, man.
It's hilarious, and it's also very awkward for him because he's in the car with the dad, and the whole time... he's addressing Senju Gahara, which is their last name. So the dad is actually driving them to a unknown location onto their date. Yeah. And so the whole time he keeps getting the names mixed up. And it was very awkward because it's like those times where you don't want to talk to the parents.
He's just calling everyone Senju Gahara. Well, I'm Senju Gahara. Which one are you talking to?
Yeah.
So that really like made me remember like one of the initial times where you just meet the parents and you're just like, oh, it's kind of awkward. And then even if you get in a car like that, just imagine. And then your girl's over here getting like feely on your leg. What,
dude,
man?
Dude, that's wild. That's wild.
And then what else happens?
Well, they just like Lloyd was saying, like in Japan, people address themselves for their last name as long. As a respect, but then if there's somebody elder there with the same last name, then that's...
You gotta address them by the first name?
But no, by the last name.
But what happens in the rest of the episode?
And the rest of the... Oh, okay, anyways, on the rest of the
I got that part.
I don't know, I just thought it was really funny that she's like, hey... Dad, he's want to ask you something. He initially addresses her as Sanjihara, but Sanjihara is the last name. So the girl, just to fuck with him, is like, "Hey, Dad, fucking this motherfucker is trying to ask you something." And
I think that's a good point, because I think something that's lost to us in the West is that like he doesn't even feel comfortable enough to call her by her first name.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't even feel like they're on a first name basis. Like
that's crazy.
That's me going up to Lloyd being like, "Hey, Parker."
Yeah.
It's rude almost over here. Like, imagine if someone just called me by my last name. Hey, Elias. Like,
alias.
It's going back to you trying to learn Spanish. You have your usted and your tú.
Oh, it's
talking.
Exactly what that is.
You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly
but it's easier in Spanish because it's just filtered by small words, not as in subjects, as in Mr. Parker or Parker. You know what I'm saying? It's just
last name basis.
Usted, Lloyd.
Usted Parker.
Anyways, Great episode.
They pretty much end up getting to the location. It's like a parking spot, and Senjugahara tells them to wait in the car while she sets up her the little date that they're gonna have. So the whole time they have
a little conversation.
Araragi and the dad have a conversation in the car, and that's where you get a little bit. It makes Sanjihara a much more wholesome character too, because the dad really explains that he's never really there and he'll probably never be there, and her asking him to give him a ride means a lot to the dad. And you're just kind of like, oh, you see, they don't have such a great relationship.
And throughout this whole throughout this whole anime, as we said, it's like it just focuses on what this kid is feeling and this, crazy ass opportunities that he has to be kind to help people and stuff like that. And then, and all the stress that he goes through or whatever. And then at the end, it's so relieving that the dad is like, hey man, thank you. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen my girl like this happy in a while. And it's hard for me because I always work all the time. And like for him, it has to feel relief because he feels so stressed being there. It's like, hey man, it's like, thank you for just taking care of my daughter, blah, blah. It's like, go have fun.
You have to keep in mind the dad's part of all that weight that she felt in episode 1.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. But that's he stopped the whole thing? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, he's the good one. I wanted to be with her mom.
That's true.
Yeah.
And because at the beginning, Senjo Hara, which is the
character
leading
development,
leading.
Character development.
She's the main waifu.
Yeah, the main waifu. Her mom got involved with this cult, and then the cult pervy guys wanted to, assault the little girl. And then at which point the dad intervened, and the dad got custody of her, and that's what weighed on Senjo Hara. It was what her mom did to her and stuff like that,
Yeah, that was
that
was pretty overcumbersome.
So at the end, I felt that Araragi was a little relief that besides all this shit that he has to go through, at least the dad is like, hey man, it's like thanks.
Mm-hmm. She sets up the date, and then what?
Sets up the date. Oh yeah, she.
Where does she take him?
She takes him to the spot that his father and his mom, and her obviously went to when she was a child, and she tells Araragi that a very very wholesome episode. She tells him, "It's like, look, this is all I have. It's like I have my dad, I have my friend from middle school or grade school, and I have you, and I have this spot right here, and that's all I have to offer you." Yeah,
and the spot that she had taken him to. They actually went into the woods, and they just lay down on the grass, and they looked up just to see, on the blanket.
Yes, on the grass.
Yeah, and the spot was pretty much the stars, and that's what she said. This is all I have. I don't have a lot.
Listen. I was instructed not to get this close to the mic. But I'm trying to get intimate with the audience real quick. The first time I probably ever cried to an anime was at the end of Bakemonogatari, the last episode, when I was like 16. I felt like super melancholy and bummed, like not even bummed out, but like little 16-year-old me wanted to be in an anime relationship and like love a girl like that so bad that like it was annoying.
But it's crazy.
Like a medium like that had never like encroached me that it changed my mood for a week.
And that's what we were saying. As far as how great this anime is, though, this is one of the things that just makes this anime so beautiful. Like this is definitely a 10 out of 10, right. Undoubtedly.
Right.
And just having that last episode, and we can really bond to that and say, damn, I feel you, dog. I probably felt like that when I was a little kid too.
Right.
Like you were saying, it was one of the first times
at the time, like being that age and feeling that at the same time, I was like, confused. This is weird.
That's
what I'm saying. This is weird. There's other people experiencing this. Like,
yeah, man.
And I don't know. I'm glad you guys appreciate. As long as you get the last episode, I guess that's all. As long as you feel something in the last episode, that's all I want anybody to ever feel from
you.
You
either feel feelings and learn to fucking live with them, or you don't grow up, man. So if this anime is gonna, it should at least hit home in some sort of way, whether it's trying to help people, where it's trying to whether it's trying to make you feel like you were in the same situation, or whatever it is like it's gonna get you somehow, and you should let those feels feel.
I think the overall aspect of this, psychologically, it really does have to deal with young kids' mental health.
Mm-hmm.
And you realize that it doesn't matter what curse it was something
it was part
that
of their
was
life, some insecurity, some memory, some...
And as a kid, you're just so confused, and like
you're always
people
insecure.
People become so overbeared by things.
Yeah,
and they're just
with emotions.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
And but everybody wants to focus on the pervy shit. I understand it's there.
Okay,
we don't want it there.
With that being said,
we don't want it there.
Lloyd described it as a 10 out of 10. I describe it as this is one of those anime mainstays that I feel like you won't understand, like the medium or the culture, what anime can really do, unless at some point you get through this. Like, if someone's like, I watch nothing but Shonen, I love Dragon Ball, I love the old Naruto, and like, but I want to get into anime, I'm not going to be like, watch Bakemonogatari. Because that's going to turn them off from absolutely everything I try to recommend. Ever.
Yeah, all the work, all the
But
hard
once
work.
You're like, this is gonna sound stupid, but like a mature anime watcher, once you're like a versed anime watcher, once you're a cultured anime veteran, then I'm like, you have to 1,000% watch Bakemonogatari. Because like, you don't even gotta watch the other 10, 13 seasons that they're still fucking making. Like, as long as you get through these first 12 episodes, you'll understand like so much.
And like, I like anything that gets a point across, and whatever point Bakemonogatari was trying to convey, I definitely felt that he conveyed to me. Yeah, in a lot of ways.
Whatever way you see fit to you.
If it's a pervy shit, then it's a pervy shit. But that's not, that's you. But
hey, man, we didn't ask for it. I mean, like,
and the other things, no, I'm not talking to the audience. Like, if that's what you like about it, it's cool, man.
Nisa Monogatari is weird. That's all I'm gonna say. The season immediately after this one.
Well, the first one, doesn't she try to kill him?
Yeah,
she has him tied up. That's right.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
Senjugata.
Some bondage.
I'm glad we talked about this. So then we briefly talked about our format.
Yeah.
So I guess we're done with Bakemonogatari. I'm really impressed with us for being able to make it through that.
Yeah, that was impressive.
Bro, we're at 52 minutes. I'm so glad we were able to do that.
52 minutes?
Okay, what nerd shit you guys have been involved with this week? What have you been watching, reading, playing? Let me hear it.
This guy's been reading over here.
Aldo's been reading? What's he been reading?
I've been reading the Demon Slayer.
Oh,
yeah.
We didn't spoil it last week. Now he's interested.
Well, don't get me wrong. I've been interested. It's just that, you know what? Thank you for that link. It works a lot better from the other links that you try to show me at least.
What was that? That was MANGANELO.com?
Yes, there you go.
There you go. Yeah.
So,
but anyways,
what chapter are you on right now?
Right now I'm on 90.
What's happening?
On 90, it was the ghost with the flailing arms.
The ghost, the vampire?
The ghost, the fucking demon, right? With the flailing arms thing.
So this is after the...
Which one had the flailing arms?
This is the Earth guy. Oh, the bald dude with the wives.
Oh, no way, the Sound Ninja dude! Oh, it's like my favorite art, bro. I'm so really happy for you.
I started...
Dude.
He
was the sound pillar, right?
Yeah, the sound pillar.
I started on 52 or 54, I believe.
I'm so proud of you.
I believe that's where it finished on the first season of the anime.
Yeah.
So that's cool, man. And then the fucking fire guy dies. Very wholesome panels.
Fire pillar, best boy.
He's awesome, dude. He's awesome. I really like the train guy.
That'll be a cool movie. The more I think about it, after like I listen to like us re-listen to this podcast, I'm like, it's gonna be a cool movie.
Yeah, absolutely, it's gonna be a cool movie.
It's gonna be so dope.
But I kind of also wanted to know why they made that just a movie. I mean, I think it's it is a good idea to make that just a movie because it is kind of long, but not as long, so you can make a movie out of that. So it doesn't like seem that it's gonna be too long because it's a pretty short arc. as opposed to all the other ones that
It's very detail driven, but like I feel like you can get that all through in a movie.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, what was your favorite arc from Kimetsu no Yaiba?
Now that Aldo's gone to the restroom, my favorite arc was the Sound Ninja, like where Aldo is right now, because that's my favorite villain, like the brother-sister duo.
Yeah.
They're the best ones, and like they're super crazy, and their backstory's sad. Like I think it's so like cool that Demon Slayer goes into detail on every villain. They're like, this is why they're a demon.
That's why they're.
This is why they made the deal with what's his face. Like, and it's super just bummy and sad.
It's sad because the further it gets on, like it doesn't really like focus on that much, but you do get a couple of panels of the demons. Remembering something in their past.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You remind me of somebody in my past.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I think that one's a pretty fire one.
What's your favorite?
I want to say like the last one.
Really?
Yeah, just because it just kind of builds up to it. I like the fight with the butterfly girl and
that one's sad. Yeah, that one's so sad.
Man, I just want an anime based on whatever they're doing. Those extra chapters, those extra bonus chapters with when you get to know what those girls are doing. I'm sorry, are we still talking about Demon Slayer?
Yeah.
Yes. Butterfly girl. The girl with the coin.
Yeah, dude. Honestly,
like,
she had like
really cool.
As far as like her character goes, they went into depth, like into like the family, and it's very, like you said, it's very sad.
Very crazy, dude. It's
dude.
It's like, what do you want? It's like they sold her to me with fleas and shit and whatnot.
That one was sad. That one was really sad.
Man. So she can't do anything by herself.
I've been so I'm almost done with Stone Ocean.
Yes.
JoJo Part 6, because when I was re-listening to the last episode, I felt bad that I talk about JoJo so much, but I still haven't finished the arc I've started reading. And this shit's getting wild.
Jolene, the baddest bitch.
Jolene?
I can't wait to see Jolene animated.
That bitch.
Like, I really hope they don't mess up her animation. Like, and what I keep thinking about that I'm scared of is that Jolene's color scheme is the exact same as Billie Eilish. And I'm afraid, like, random girls on Twitter or something, I'm going to see, like, Jolene and be like, why is this anime stealing from Billie Eilish? And I'm going to be so triggered,
Billie
bro.
Eilish
I'm going to be like...
got her from that. And Billie Eilish looks like she looks at animes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lord, what have you been reading?
You know what? Let me see here.
Let's bring up
the trusty.
Lloyd.
You know what?
Colorado.
Oh, yeah.
Colorado. Yeah. Colorado did go
still watching. I'm still reading Hunter, the Hunter, or whatever it's called. Yeah. I went to Colorado, man.
And then what happened? Who's out there?
Shit, I went to go visit my brothers, my older brother David and my little brother Derek. They live out in Denver. I woke up one day and I was like, "Fuck it, I'm going to Colorado." I left on Thursday, and dude, it was a long ass drive, but it's not boring. Like I believe I took the 54, and the whole way from El Paso, which is a very dry land, all the way up to Denver, like you just see the geography change so drastically, because you can tell when you're like in Texas, it's still dry. Once you get into New Mexico, you start seeing some bigger rubbishes, some bushes,
some bigger rubbishes,
rubbishes. So you start seeing like a little bit more trees, bushes, more greenery. And then once you start getting to like Colorado, it's big ass trees just all over the place, man. And it's fucking gorgeous. Like the drive was not boring.
That's dope.
I got the chance to go to Boulder, the University of Boulder. It's gorgeous out there.
Why the University of Boulder? Who's there?
We're just
really?
We passed. So we went there to go to the river, and then we drove up Canyon Road onto this like a side waterfall, like off the side of the freeway.
Right.
And we went there, just, check it out, see a waterfall, And after that, we ended up just like driving around downtown Denver. It was chilling. I got to go rafting the next day.
Nice,
dude. It
looked good. I saw a picture you put up.
Yeah, man.
That's cool.
I was wilding out there. But
did you do any Colorado activities?
No, man.
No?
No? Hell yeah. Not Colorado activities. I like it.
All right.
Yeah, sorry, man.
Well,
I didn't even drink. I was so hydrated off the waters out there. Man, the air quality, dude, the air quality is so nice, so crisp.
I was there in January. That's just weird, though.
I felt like I was being rejuvenated with all those oxygens out there.
Cool. Well,
but yeah, dude.
I did get into a little nerd shit on video games.
What'd you do?
I was like...
Oh, yo, can I tell you something?
Yes.
The Yu-Gi-Oh! Nerds keep telling me that you're spending way too long on your campaigns. I have gotten 3 different texts saying Aldo's fucking bad at Destiny if he's doing 4 hours, if his campaigns are taking 4 hours.
Well,
Dang.
I just did my first raid this past Thursday night actually, and it took me an hour and a half. So
that's not 4 hours.
No, that's not 4 hours.
I'm so glad that you're good at this game.
Thank you, because I know I had to
You got the nerds?
I know I had to set like
They got you on check, man.
40 hours and stuff like that. But we did a small raid. Where you have to take down this guy, you have to do damage from certain size, then you have different areas that you have to get in there.
What is it called?
Man, the Scourge of the Past, I believe it's called. And we finished it like in an hour and a half. Very easy, the entire thing.
Oh, you know what? I think I might just download it. I got Wi-Fi now, so...
What? It's because when back... I mean,
oh, yeah, your roommate told me you had Wi-Fi. He texted me all mad about you Saturday.
Oh, yeah?
When I was talking about
he was like, the Wi-Fi guys failed us.
He said you failed us.
I set up the appointment, man. These fools didn't come through. It ain't my fault.
Hold on.
Anyways.
Can I talk about... Well,
oh, yeah.
You're still talking about something?
Yes.
Let me see this box.
Hold on.
The reason I was saying 4 hours last time is because that's usually how long it takes to do a new one, you know? But, yeah. I did it with some guys that knew what they were doing. I'm
so glad you're good at the game.
So yeah, it didn't take forever. I also went flawless on the Trials of Osiris, which is pretty cool. You have to win 7 matches in a row without getting beat.
And you spent that? You killed them all?
I'm sorry. Yeah, that is PvP. So that's playing with online players against each other. It's cool.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I think it's funny that's all you did all weekend. Besides
playing 4 hours of...
Besides Saturday...
Horror.
Yeah. Saturday night, me and Aldo got the girls together.
Maliciously convinced both our girlfriends to play a board game that they thought it was going to be a more traditional board game.
Said maliciously.
Maliciously. I went in with malicious intent.
Yes. And, man, it's funny because you had told me, I was like, hey, man, I kind of want to have a little board night with the girls, whatever. I'm like, cool. I thought you were going to get a more traditional board game.
Like Sorry or something.
Maybe something like Clue, and then my girl showed me a text from Karen. It's like, hey, would you be down to have a game night? Drew wants to play a interactive... something board game. I'm like, this guy just tricked Karen into playing some shit. Like, go ahead.
Okay, so shout out to Sun City Games in El Paso. They have a bunch of board games. Hit them up.
Where's it located?
It's Central.
Central, nice.
It's out there.
What is it? What is it called?
Sun City Games.
Sun City Games.
So I go there a lot. I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Locals there, but Konami delayed locals indefinitely, so I guess I'll never get to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Again. But anyways, I bought a $60 board game called Arkham Horror. It's a Call of Cthulhu board game based off of Lovecraftian novels. So if you know who Lovecraft is, that's like Azathoth.
Yeah, H.P. Lovecraft.
Science fiction writer.
Fiction writer. What's the main monster? The squid one?
Cthulhu?
Yeah. Call of Cthulhu game.
Cthulhu,
come on.
Yeah.
So what is this about?
It reminds me of this D&D board game that the three of us played before, where it feels a lot like D&D. Like you're doing
your best
combat rolls. You're rolling for sneak and like all this other stuff. It took an hour just to set up, but basically what it is you're an investigator in Arkham, like Arkham the city, and portals start opening up, monsters start popping out, you get transported to other worlds, and it's the goal of the team to close all the portals before the big baddie shows up.
Before you activate the main guy. So the way you activate the main guy, it's this horror level through the town. So every time a
terror level
dial on the map, where every time you open up a portal, you have to put a token on that meter level, which goes from 1 to 10. When it goes from 10 to 10, the monster, it's already taking, it's already putting some effect in the game. Yeah. And then by the time you fill up the monster's terror level, or what was it?
Yeah, terror level. So like every terror level over 10, you start like awakening the beast.
Yeah, and different beasts have different levels that you need to activate for it to wake up. We still happen to pick the fucking hardest one with 14 levels out of it. If you activate all those 14 levels, it's GG. Like the monster appears, it's a big storm, you fucking GG.
Yeah, we drew
you immediately die?
We drew into Azathoth. His game text literally says like, if he's awakened, you automatically lose.
No shit. Well, yeah. How the fuck are you gonna fight it?
So the way you don't activate the guy, it's by closing these portals.
Nice. And how long did you guys play for again?
We played for 4 hours and we didn't finish. So, like, I didn't think we'd even get that far. Because I knew after I tricked the girls that we'd probably get like an hour into this and that'd be it. But it took like an hour just to set up and figure out the first turn.
That's fucking wild.
It was fucking ridiculous.
To be honest. But today is June 6th, meaning that the summer anime season started Saturday.
Yes, it did. Because you know what came out? God of High School.
God of High School.
Yeah, I watched it.
And we were talking about that last week. And I saw the trailer for it barely today because I hadn't even seen it animated. So I'm kind of excited for that one. I'm disappointed that Tower of God ended without any real resolution. And I was...
Is there supposed to be like another season, or?
I'm pretty sure.
Because like, isn't it still ongoing?
Yeah, absolutely. The manga's still ongoing, and my understanding is that's the most popular anime Crunchyroll had going on all season, as far as like Crunchyroll originals. And I was also watching Princess Zero Redive, and that one had a very lackluster ending. But I'm excited for the summer anime season because I'm disappointed that the spring anime, everything got canceled because of COVID.
Yep.
So now that we finally have something to watch with a full anime season, I think will be a lot better.
Yeah, are they back in production, like opening?
I don't know. My understanding is yes, sort of, because they barely did like a shutdown-ish thing like a month and a half ago.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
They shut down late, even though like they're right there.
They're even some of the mangas even been postponed too. Like
One Piece is getting slow.
Yeah, dude. They're taking about
and
2 weeks now.
Shoots out every week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been doing one every 2 weeks. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So yeah, man. So what's the deal, fellas? What are we gonna? What's coming up this next podcast?
What's been happening lately?
Wait, can we pick the main topic
of
the next episode? What are we gonna do? What do you want?
What are we doing?
Can we go down the Drew big tier, the Drew 3 tier?
All right. So yeah, we'll do it. Run it up.
Are you guys down? Because like I didn't pick this episode, but y'all basically picked this episode because it was one of my favorite anime. Yeah.
This anime was good, man.
But that's what I'm saying. Would you be down for another Drew recommendation for next episode?
Let's do that.
Is it going to be on the same series?
What you got for us?
It will not be the same series. So you get one of two choices based solely off the name. You get either Madoka Magica, which is a subversion of the Magic Girl trope, or The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, which probably a million people listening to, well, not a million people listening.
A million people.
Someday, maybe a million people listening to the second episode and know like what I was talking about. But I'm sure anybody that knows anime knows what The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya is.
Let's do that then.
You want to do The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya?
Yeah, we can talk about it.
Okay. I put that in that same category as Bakemonogatari, like a anime like must watch for you to understand like any other piece of this medium.
Okay.
It doesn't even have like the same gripes that Bakemonogatari would have with like the pervy stuff or like anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is gonna sound weird, but the best way to watch it is to get like go full biddy and like just breeze through the whole thing. So you just need to binge it, but like off the biddy. And what I mean by biddy is that pure like dumbassery. You know what I'm saying? Like you're 12 modelos deep, you're in the biddy.
You're in the biddy.
You get back from Colorado like Lloyd, you're in the biddy. You get what I'm saying? That pure dumbassery coming out your mouth, that's the biddy. You need to get straight in the biddy and finish this in one sitting, and then I need to know like exactly how you're feeling.
Okay.
How many episodes is it?
I want to say it's 20 something.
First. Oh, the whole thing is 20?
The whole thing. It never got more than one season, which is really disappointing. It has 2 movies? 1 movie? No. It's disappointing that it didn't continue.
Back to movie stuff. Demon Slayer is doing a movie which is going to be like a shitload of chapters in
12.
Right?
Yeah, it's 12?
Yeah, it's
okay.
12.
So y'all need to really finish it in one sitting.
Okay.
And I'm being adamant about that. Like, you can't pick up an episode and then start another episode. Like, maybe half and half, but like, you need to see
Honestly,
as big of a chunk as possible.
Why?
Just once
do
you
it.
finish it, we'll talk about it.
Okay.
But I can't tell you why right now.
Can I finish it both ways? Can I do like one, sweep of maybe an episode here, episode there, and then do a binge?
No.
No?
I would say like big chunks, like half and half maybe.
Okay.
And the thing about the Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya is that like the watch order is even debated.
The watch order.
The watch order is debated. But go to whatever pirating site you're watching it or whatever legal medium like it happens to be on right now. And like whatever order it just has on there, just watch it. If it has an episode listed 00, watch episode 00 first.
All right.
Okay, and did you get into any nerd activities besides anime this week? And besides torturing our girlfriends with 4 hours of a board game?
I've almost finished, I was telling Lloyd, I've almost finished Stone Ocean. JoJo's Part 6.
Yes.
And that shit's getting real wild. And then it's because I was listening to last episode and I was disappointed that like I'm talking so much about JoJo's and I apparently love it so much, but I can't even like read a full like JoJo part in the manga front to back. So I'm going to try to finish as much as possible. Like, as long as we're doing that, well, just for me. Like, I'm just going to try to read as much JoJo's as possible so that I'm completely caught up.
Cool. I like it. What nerd activities are you looking forward to get into this week?
Probably going to read God of High School, to be honest.
Okay.
I'll watch episode 1.
Yeah,
while you read all that, I'll watch episode 1.
I watched the first episode. It's pretty tight. I'm digging it, so I'm gonna see what's up. Alrighty, so thanks for coming out, guys. Well, I guess we'll call it for today, right?
Yes, sir.
This has been Between Nerds.
Please listen to us in iTunes.
Oh wait!
Oh,
yeah, tell them what are we on?
One more time. Do we have an email?
Yes, we do have an email, guys. We're at betweennerdspodcast@gmail.com.
Send us questions, please.
Send us recommendations.
Exactly.
Recommendations.
Yeah, we'll take some recommendations. See if you guys want us to talk about anything that you've been watching or reading.
Yes, we're on. Like I said, we're on Spotify, iTunes for now.
Please rate us on both platforms.
Yes, give us your honest opinion.
No, give us a 5.
Give us a 5.
You can leave whatever comment you want, but give us a 5. But
Yeah,
put a 5.
Yeah, definitely a 5. Come on.
I hate these guys. 5.
There you go.
It's fine.
Yes,
Yeah, so we're on those platforms right now.
Oh, ask us questions on Twitter at Drew Elias. That's DREWALIYAS.
Yeah, mine is Boy Tetsuo.
And I'm at Aldis Vibes.
So yeah, I mean, if you guys have anything that you want to talk about, go ahead and let us know. We'll check it out. And thanks for tuning in this week, guys. We'll see you next week.
Between Nerds.